can lift a rhino, but not a lion cub. No one fights in cartoons. It's just a cloud. Hey Blossom, let's play rock, paper, scissors. Guess it's a stalemate like every time we play this game. How does Rapunzel have the most hair and wakes up perfectly? You know, I am rich. So you're telling me that nobody in the whole kingdom has the same shoe size? Nobody. Cartoon characters after slipping on a banana peel. Death. Cartoon characters falling off a building. Whatever the hell this thing is. So that's the Grand Canyon, huh? The Flintstones. Cartoon character gets injured. The cartoon character with a big nose. Now it's all big and red and swollen. Repairs windows by smacking them with a hammer. Cartoon logic. The wheel hasn't even been invented yet. But what are those pedals doing? Thinking quickly, Dave constructs a homemade megaphone using only some string, a squirrel, and a megaphone. I used the megaphone to make a megaphone. Stares into your eyes the entire night. Makes you prove you're the same person. Cartoons are so unrealistic. Meanwhile, in real life, say map, louder, freaking map. Cartoon characters after eating a huge nacho. Cartoon characters when they get hit in their head. It's just a bump. Only American accent in whole movie, but it's the rightful king of England. Can survive at the bottom of the ocean without air, but somehow drowns. A mirror. A laser beam that can destroy a planet in one shot. That laser beam getting destroyed. Cartoon characters after eating a bomb. Normally walks around naked. Wears bathing suit to go swimming. Embarrassed when it comes off. Guess it depends on the setting. Graphene. I'm the most flexible material, but you forgot about Tom and Jerry. These dudes are shapeshifters. Food that tasted perfectly fine, but cartoons tried to convince you they tasted like crap. Starter pack. Any green vegetable applies, but these three specifically are slandered the most. You can't be the girl I'm looking for, so let's just live together until I find her. Kids' cartoons back then. We smoke cigars and try to end each other. Now, where's the circle? Ducks eating duck. What? No one. Cartoon characters every time they fall on the ground. Multilingual at age 4. Can't locate things next to her. Laugh all you want. In less than 20 years, everyone will be working from home just like me. Pinkie Pie can twist her neck around twice and receive no harm. But Rainbow Dash gets hospitalized for crashing into the ground for the 8th million time. Donald Duck in comics. I am well characterized, have an interesting history, and have a superhero dual personality. Donald Duck in cartoon. Quack, 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 quack. If this happens, who's winning the fight? Reed watching Gear 5 Luffy tank the screw you do die beam he spent 3 days working on because he didn't factor in cartoon logic. High schoolers in American cartoons versus Japanese cartoons. Cartoon characters falling off a cliff. They somehow have the best strength in the whole show. What are SpongeBob's sleeves attached to? Cartoon logic is the most unpredictable thing I've ever seen. Why didn't you like that person? They seem so nice. You know who else seemed to be nice? Nice people can be nice though. Not all nice people are evil. In the 90s, cartoon shows for children and teens. Cartoon shows for adults. Today, cartoon shows for adults and cartoon shows for children and teens. Girl designs and cartoons and boy designs and cartoons. Her hand has little hands, and then those hands have little hands, and you know, keeps going. Can barely lift soda. Flawlessly lifts car with one hand. Cartoons make kids dumb. Prove it. Can you see the turtles? This is proving that they actually make them smart. They're answering questions. They're thinking. Wait a minute. I'm a cartoon character. As long as I don't look down, I'll keep going in the air. Action movies. I can get hit 7 times and still function. Cars in horror movies. Can't even start. Cars in cars. Sometimes I actually wonder if I'm living in a Looney Tunes cartoon. Imagine being Bojack's friend and him talking about how he's a horrible person, but he's just a horse, so he just looks like this the whole time. Clothes change at 12. Glass slippers still glass. Washes rock with mop underwater. Oh, is this Detective Conan? People who find the logic in horror movies. People who find the logic in a basic video game. People who try to find the logic in a kid's cartoon show. How broccoli actually tastes. How cartoons portray its taste. Why do cartoons do this? Because they know kids watching this, well, they're not like broccoli because of the cartoon. Why? Vegetables are good for you. Vegetables aren't even bad, but as a kid I hated them. Where is the sea? I can't find it. Of course Itachi would be saying this. Sleeping Beauty. If it was real life. You're a real sick freak, you know that? Feeling nostalgic. Magic 8 Ball. Am I stupid? Not to be that guy, but this cartoon makes 0 sense. parents. It's a bowling ball, not an 8-ball. Delete this before you embarrass yourself. They really just like to traumatize us with children's cartoons in the 90s and early thousands, huh? Back then, it wasn't so much how many doing the deed jokes can we get away with, as it was how many unspeakable horrors can we fit into a cartoon before the parents start to complain. Yes, this is about Courage the Cowardly Dog. Cartoon companies making toys. Toy companies making cartoons. One of the most ambitious crossovers of all time. When a cartoon bird accidentally gets burnt. Why I don't watch Disney cartoons. Because it's animated. Because they sing midway the movie. Are Pinky and the Brain still trying to take over the world? At this point, I'm willing to hit Pinky's platform. Finn, one of the few cartoon characters who actually realizes he can walk through cell bars. Wear masks. Not like the giant freaking turtles or anything. Nobody. Rabbits according to cartoons. Looking for wisdom from a cartoon character. Stan or Iroh. Everybody talks about how this kid has been 10 for 20 years. But not how these have been teens since 1969. Who had the realest beef? I only really watched Tom and Jerry. Yeah. They all fall for the perfect guy, right? He's a compulsive liar. He's verbally abusive and violent. Only wants a trophy wife. Likes somophilia. Keeps waiting for perfection. Gets annoyed if you're not a guy. Won't get a job. But that's relatable. Cartoon logic. Just move your hands. You're not really trapped. This is like when Superman got handcuffed. Goofy is a dog whose best friend is a mouse who has a dog. And that dog walks on all fours. No one. Parents in old cartoons. Cartoon logic. Garfield's eyebrows are on his eyes as a kitten, but when he's an adult cat, his eyebrows are on his head. Yeah, let's just ignore the fact that Flats the Flounder already knows how to drive, even though he just started attending boating school. Natural talent, man. Being naked, but yet they still wear clothes occasionally. Spinning your legs like crazy, which would break your bones. If it doesn't kill you, you'll just be deformed. Gravity won't work until you look down. Ed, what are you doing in my bed? I can't sleep, Eddie. I keep thinking, how can my feet smell if they don't have a nose? The guys who wrote this show were literally on so many drugs, it's unbelievable it ever aired on Cartoon Network. Dragon Ball Z logic. Here are the Dragon Balls. Please bring Krillin back, even though I can do a lot more than that. So many cartoons had adult jokes I didn't get as a kid. I didn't understand the bit where Jerry hits Tom with a frying pan so hard his face turned into the shape of a frying pan until I was 23. I'm sorry, what's the joke? I thought that's just silly cartoon stuff. The way nobody is explaining the joke is annoying me. Cartoon Network, we need to talk. Cartoon characters posing for a group photo be like, yeah, that's gang, guys. Who's the main character though? The worst mum ever. Lets her young daughter wander around a jungle with a monkey, get stalked by a fox, cross an alligator-infested river and talk to wild animals with a freaking map and backpack. How is it even possible? I don't know. Speedy Gonzalez was banned by Cartoon Network for being an offensive stereotype, only to be returned after mass protest by the Hispanic American community. Speedy Gonzalez is an offensive stereotype. Isn't that right? Shut the hell up. Cartoon logic. Brian after eating chocolate, and him after drinking alcohol. Also him just flirting with women in Family Guy, and the lady's going along with it as if he's not a dog. Today on the Looney Tunes show, Daffy joins the Marines and saves Bugs from an Albanian prison. I'd like to point out that the weapons drawn here are incredibly accurate to the suggested setting and usage, and that Daffy and his squad are behaving tactically. Like, the level of detail here is far beyond what is necessary for a children's cartoon. I know they just had fun making this episode then. People who don't know versus people who know. I am in the camp of who don't know. Millennial male childhood crush starter pack. My parents did say I had a massive crush on Ariel. Cartoon Network versus AS. Is that the crab who stole your hook? No, he's a bit bigger than that. I wonder where he went. Come on, kiss the girl already. 720p versus 4K. I don't want to watch the amazing world of Gumball in 4K if it looks like this. For years, I've looked at this mountain of your stuff. Either he can open all the locks with his ear, or that lock was purposely designed to have his ear to be the key. Cartoon Network is trash for letting this happen. What was this design change for Scoopy? He went from looking sensible to not. Oh, Zootopia's got it. They're not going off cartoon logic. No way, they're using animators logic. Can't drive a boat, but can drive a rock. Oh no, someone's drowning, but I tried to grab them, but I can't because I just missed their fingertips, even though their hand would be just a few inches below. So I just give up. And somehow I'm sitting on water. Goes to outer space with no helmet whatsoever. Lives to tell the story. I don't think Tom Kenny ever auditions for voice acting roles. I think if you make a cartoon, he just materializes in the sound booth on his own. He and Tara's strong. Holy be, I 478 credits. Well, I 569. Amateurs? What was that, punk? What? The only 3 voice actors in the entirety of Germany. Verb. Phineas, we cannot. He's just a boy. We must feast. You fought in the Clone Wars. Yes, I was once a cartoon character, the same as your father. Homer finds out Marge is pregnant with Bart. Picture of Lisa on a wall. Remember that cartoon where the Cat in the Hat and the Grinch met, and the cat is like, why are you so mean? Is it because of your dead mother, you sick bastard? And it turns out the Grinch is just grieving over the loss of his mother, and that's why he's so miserable. Excuse me, what? No one. Cartoon Network every 5 seconds, giving an ad. Wow, great disguise you got there. What? It's clearly 2 different people. What are you talking about? I see Clark Kent and I see Superman. My nose will grow now. Epic paradox. If he says it will grow, but it doesn't, he's lying. But it grows when he lies, so he would be telling the truth. But his nose still grew while he told the truth. Anyone else ever notice how Disney made Hercules a ginger so that he could swim through the soul-eating river without dying? The 4 horsemen of actual female representation in cartoons. Oh, Karoons, my bad. Okay, sure, Rick, you can just pull anything out of that lab coat. One of these is a ridiculous cartoon, and the other is Little Gideon from Gravity Falls. Cartoon character in live-action movie starter pack. Obligatory car scene. Always hate each other at first, but gradually become friends. Whoa, New York City! Human and cartoon first met screaming at each other. You better watch who you're calling a child, Lois, because if I'm a child, you know what that makes you? A predator, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna stand here and be lectured by a pervert. Mickey Mouse should not look like that ever. He's the agent of happiness and joy for all ages. Here, no humor, no levity, no optimism, or any sort of exaggeration. The most popular cartoon character of all time looks completely broken. Look, we got 4 or 5 of the main characters on this ship. I think we'll be fine. Indian men in American cartoon. Indian men in Japanese cartoon. Indian men in Indian cartoon. Parent, it's just a cartoon. There is no reason to be scared. The cartoon. Damn, we've got no water in the pool. Petition to have studio create Samurai Jack live action with Keanu Reeves as Jack. This rejected New York cartoon might just be the best New Yorker cartoon of all time. I have an enormous favor to ask you. Japanese and Chinese cartoon. Chinese and Japanese anime. Nothing, bang. Cartoon balls, shape-shifting monkeys. Nobody. Water and cartoons. I'm blue. Other color would it be? Green? Alakazam. Pokedex. What Pokemon is that? That's an Alakazam. No way. Ash, it's almost like every Pokemon you've met says its name. $1.50, 99 cents, and $2. It's 30% cuter and only costs $1 more. I've checked and cross-checked. His hunting rifle is in good working condition, and the bullets are not blanks. Logic indicates he's just a bad shot then. Haha, dumb face. That's pretty ironic. Have they ever explained how the hell Team Plasma was able to do this? Because I'm trying to figure out the logistics of how they moved an entire castle the size of a mountain range underground right under the Pokemon League without anyone really noticing. Do you guys want me to do Pokemon logic? Shelter-in-place coping levels measured in cartoon bears. Level 1, fully clothed, family unit all together. Societal rules and standards still being followed, practiced and respected. Level 2, t-shirts and no pants, mostly alone, eating entirely too many sweets but happy in your blissful ignorance. 3, naked except for a hat and a tie, surviving off whatever food you can steal. Only companion is a smaller nude person in a bow tie. 4, completely nude, surrounded by others who are completely nude, obsessed with toilet paper. I'm level 3. If Cinderella happened today, I have to go. Goodbye. I don't know your name. How will I find you? Never mind, I know how. Yes, there she is. That'll do it. That moment when you realize someone did the deed with Goofy. Whoa, 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 that ain't right. Goofy's a nice guy and a single father trying to make it happen. He spends time with his son and tries to take him fishing. He has rhythm, can sing, and works really hard at his department store photo area so Max can go to college. Also, his wife is dead. That's the only reason Goofy hasn't remarried, because he's loyal to his first wife's memory. Goofy is the best man-dog cartoon thing ever. Definitely the most loyal. Don't get in, Mickey. I'm naked. What difference does it make? You never wear pants. Right. Okay. That needs to be blurred. And these guys live together, you say? That's right. One is super hot, one is rock hard, and one can make his body parts incredibly long. No, Stan, we can't publish this. Moral guardians will eat us alive. At the very least, add a girl. Fine, I'll add a girl, but she'll be invisible. This is what Disney princesses would look like if they had realistic proportions. Can we stop classifying realistic proportions as fat, please? Do these people really think that a mermaid who swims constantly would be fat? Or a woman living in France before the French Revolution would be fat? Or a Native American girl who constantly runs around and maybe helps to carry heavy things and hunt would be fat? Every time I see articles like this, it makes me mad. They boast about Oh, think of all the little fat girls that look at these skinny princesses and hate themselves, but fail to think about the little skinny girls who hear people talk about how being skinny isn't normal or realistic and feel bad about themselves. There's two sides to every coin. Skinny and fat kids get picked on for being skinny and fat. This isn't for little girls, it's for fat, vain adult women who feel insecure because of a fricking cartoon. I'm drowning in an underwater beach. I don't know if anyone has made this post yet. A couple of days ago, I was watching SpongeBob and the episode Jailbreak comes on. I noticed the whale guy there and a thought that hits me. Maybe Pearl's mum had enough of that whale stuff and while he was in jail married Mr. Krabs. And then Mr. Krabs adopted Pearl so she wouldn't be influenced by her convict of a father. Just a deep thought.